दोस्तों इस वीडियो में हम क्या देख रहे हैं, देखो एसिड बेस एंड सॉल्ट्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक बोर्ड के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से। और लास्ट वीडियो में हमने चैप्टर 1 कवर किया था, ऐसे ही समरी बेस्ड और बहुत ही इंफोग्राफिक्स बेस पर। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द केमिस्ट्री ऑफ बैलेंस, दैट इज एसिड बेसिस एंड सॉल्ट्स। तो एसिड क्या होता है कि प्रॉपर्टी अगर इनकी देखी तो ये सोअर टेस्ट में होते हैं, खट्टे। लिटमस अगर टेस्ट अगर हम करें तो ब्लू से रेड चले जाते हैं, है ना। अगर ब्लू लिटमस पेपर लिया तो रेड हो जाता है। एग्जांपल अगर देखें तो विनेगर है, लेमन जूस है, या फिर अदर जो भी एसिड्स या फिर खट्टे पदार्थ आते हैं वो। बेस की अगर बात करें तो प्रॉपर्टी क्या है बेस की, बिटर टेस्ट होती है और थोड़ा सा सोफी टच होता है ना। लिटमस टेस्ट अगर हम करें तो रेड लिटमस क्या होता है, ब्लू हो जाता है। तो ये बेस का लिटमस टेस्ट। एग्जांपल जैसे बेकिंग सोडा हो गया, सोप हो गए, है ना, ये आता है। ड्यूअलिटी इन नेचर अगर देखें तो पर्टिकुलरली हम बेस एंड एसिड का कॉम्बिनेशन टाइप्स में हम देखते हैं कि नेचर में ये दोनों मिलते हैं, लेकिन कभी कभी सॉल्ट्स भी मिलते हैं। तो वो कौन से और कैसे डिटेक्ट करते हैं देखते हैं। डिटेक्टिंग द इनविजिबल, दैट इज द साइंस ऑफ इंडिकेटर्स। तो lichen is one type of algae, you know that. And when litmus strip is used, so it will shows acid for red, neutral for purple, and base for the blue, right? So whenever yellow there is a so called as neutral, reddish brown it will say that base, that is a soup, right, soapy material included. When there is a reddish brown color it's shown. Now, synthetic indicators. What are the synthetic means? That man-made, right? Artificially made. These above two are the natural, which are occurring in nature. But synthetic man-made, number one is phenolphthalein. That is the in acid colorless. It shows the property colorless, indicating, that is indicator, है ना. In base में ये पिंक शो करेगा, लाइट पिंक टू डार्क पिंक ऐसा शेडिंग में. मिथिल ऑरेंज, इट शोज रेड इन एसिड एंड येलो इन द बेस. Olfactory indicators, if we seen, scent as a signal. If odor remains in acidic solution, that is HCl, odor destroyed in basic solution, that is NaOH. So these are also particularly we can say, but not the natural indicators. These are the scent as a signal. Scent के basis पर we can define what is acid and what is base or basic solution, acidic solution, etc. Now, the source of power, dissolution in water. So the acidic and basic nature can be identified by using the dissolution in water. That substance we have to dissolve in water. Water acts as a natural and universal solvent. You know that. Why aqueous solution conduct electricity? This is the question where the cations and anions are dispersed into the solution of water. इसलिए हम इसको बोलते हैं aqueous solutions conduct electricity. So acid, what is acid? According to the theories, different theories. So Arrhenius theory, you may know later in the 11th standard, 12th standard, what is Arrhenius theory of acids and bases. Now, Arrhenius, that is releases hydrogen ion. एसिड्स हम किसको बोलते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ द केमिकल लैंग्वेज. सो जो हाइड्रोजन बाहर रिलीज कर रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल हियर यू कैन सी दैट HCl plus H2O. When HCl is inserted into the water, immersed in water, it will give H3O plus, that is H plus. This is hydronium ion. इसको हम H प्लस भी बोलते हैं, प्लस या Cl माइनस. सो H प्लस कैन नॉट एग्जिस्ट अलोन, राइट. इट combines with the water to form hydronium ion, that is H3O plus ion. ये क्या हो गए, एसिड. सो जहाँ पर H प्लस बाहर यानी कि रिलीज हो रहा है उसको हम एसिड बोलते हैं. नाउ बेसिस, basis releases hydroxide ion, right, that is OH minus. When NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide or caustic soda, when you insert into water it will give Na plus and OH minus ion in the aqueous solution, that is water solution. Bases that dissolve in water are called as alkalis, right. इसको हम alkalis बोलते हैं. Crucial conditions क्या हो सकता है, dry HCl gas produces no ions, that is does not change with the litmus color. Water is essential for dissolution. ये critical या crucial condition हो सकता है. Now, displacement reaction with the metals. So we are discussing this particular, but metal is involved in this reactions type. So virtual experiment is given. You can consider by this is a setup where test tube is connecting with the delivery tube and inserted into the soap solution, where this is a burning candle where hydrogen gas is involved. Here is the H gas is given, and zinc granules and dilute sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, is immersed into this particular solution, where number one is acid. When it reacted with the metal, it gives salt as well as hydrogen gas. So this is the reaction where we have to see. And what is the acid reaction? You have to take the acid, that is H2SO4, then metal, that is Zn, zinc, and you will get salt ZnSO4, and finally you will get H2 as a combustible gas, which that pop, right? This is the hydrogen gas. Now base exceptions. Base का exception क्या हो सकता है? Strong bases can react with metals, though less commonly. Okay, now base, when you are considering your 2 moles of the NaOH with the reaction zinc, it will give you Zn2 ZnO2, that is sodium zinc at H2. ये less reaction होता है, ज़्यादा reaction नहीं होता है, less commonly find out होता है. Now the which factor, acids and carbonates. You can see turning solid rock into the gases, where you have to consider these reactions. Sodium carbonate, when HCl is inserted, it will give CO2, and CO2 is considered into the water, that is lime water. General equation इसका देखें तो metal carbonate plus acid, it will give salt, carbon dioxide dissolved in water. Carbon dioxide is dissolved in water. This is called as lime water. Now limited CO2, it will use microscope view अगर हम देखें तो. Then calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide, it will give white precipitate, that is CaCO3, calcium carbonate plus water. When you insert excess amount of the carbon dioxide, you will get this type of the microscope view, right? And when you do the reaction with carbon dioxide in water and with the carbonate, it will give the calcium, this one HCO3 twice. This is soluble in a water again. Now real vertex, you can consider limestone, this chalk, marble are called as calcium carbonate. Okay, now next one term, which is equalizer, that is neutralization reaction. What is neutralization reaction? That already we have seen balance, right? So when opposites collide to restore balance, for example acids, bases, water and salt. So what is actually neutralization? When there is a reaction between bases and acids, it will give the salt and water. This is called as neutralization reaction. What are the takeaways for this reaction mechanism? The acidic H plus and basic OEH minus cancels each other out. What is thermal? This is an exothermic reaction where the heat is released, right? Heat bahar aa jata hai. Safety, what is the safety for this? Always add acid to water slowly because heat is released immediately when you add the water immediately, right? So you have to add acid into water slowly manner. Drop wise you can add the acid. Never add water to concentrated acid. Always use dilute acid, right? So these are the avoid for the doing practicals. Now measuring power, what is the pH scale, where you can find out on different pH meter. For example 0 to 7, this is acidic, right? When you pass neutral to the strong acid, that is 7 to 0, and when you move 7 to 14, it will become the strong base. So whenever pH is equal to 0, then you can say that that is acid. And when you consider the 14, 13 or 12, that is strong base is considered. Okay, now this is a Georgia Pro, that is logarithmic strength, which is given by pi and stands for potence, that power. One change of 1 pH unit you represents 10x change in the ion of the concentration, right? So ये logarithmic concept आ जाता है. You can again learn in the next standard, 11th standard, what is the logarithmic or log e to the base 10 etc terms. But you have to just remember right now. आपको क्या remember करना है कि 0 to 7 acidic, 7 को neutral and 7 से ज़्यादा 14 तक basic हो जाता है. You can consider these are the some examples in a day-to-day life. Okay, you can find this type of the charts on Google as well. Now considering next one, that is delicate balance pH in everyday life. What is that? Chemistry as a mechanism for survival. Number one, you have to remember this one, the human body. So our vital range is narrow, which is 7 to 7.8. Uses of HCl for digestion, Excess causes irritation. Okay, remember this is and treated with an antacid, that is magnesium basis. Dental health. So our dental pH is less than 5.5, which is acidic again. Bacteria degrade sugar into acid, corrodating enamel, calcium hydroxaphytate. Basic toothpaste prevent this. Okay. Nature's welfare, that is methonic acid used. Pea strings, nettle leaves. Nature provides the cure. And dog plant, that is leaves, basics or baking sodas. Environmental health, acid rain is less than 5.6, lowers liver water pH, threatening the aquatic life. Okay, remember this one, critical for the health of aquatic life. Now, children of neutralization, what are that? Number one, family of salts. You have to remember neutral salts, acidic salts, and basic salts. The salts which are made by neutral compound, which are called as neutral salts. The compounds which made by acidic called as acidic salts, and the salt which are made by basic components which called as basic salts. You have to remember strong acid, strong base which have the pH equals to 7. Sodium chloride, NaCl, is neutral salt where you have to use in daily life. हम daily life में NaCl use करते हैं नमक अपना. And the acidic salts which is strong acid plus weak base. Similarly, opposite to this, basic, weak acid and strong base, right? So pH will become less than 7 in acidic and pH will become greater than 7 in a basic salts. So this is the history you have to remember for the be merge. Salt is not just a chemical, it is a symbol of life and freedom. Now, industrial alchemy. What is the industrial use for this particular salt process or chore alkali processes? So, converting common salt into industrial powerhouses. How? Brine, that is aqueous NaCl. Aqueous NaCl, or we can consider 10% of water is added to NaCl, is called as brine. Now it is undergoing the electrolysis chemical process. Electricity is passes and you will get this kind of cathode, this kind of anode, and sodium hydroxide as a near to cathode, right? So this type of the particular industrial processes are used. You can remember, just go through this one. Okay, take the screenshot. After that, household toolkit, the disinfectants and the baker. Disinfectant, that is bleaching powder. Bleaching powder has the molecular formula CaOCl2. Production, how it is produced: chlorine gas plus dry slick lime, that is CaOH twice. What are the uses for bleaching powder? Bleaching cotton and lime, oxidizing agent in chemical industries, disinfectants for the drinking water. Baking soda, this is the formula important for the board exams. Sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. Here H is also called as Bi, or it may, you can write hydrogen. So it is the nature mild and non-corrosive base. This is the reaction of this baking soda. When it undergoes heat reaction exothermic, it will give Na2CO3 and then water and carbon dioxide. So Na2CO3 is again washing soda. So from baking soda you can get washing soda. The CO2 gas gets trapped in turf, causing it to rise. Uses antacid and fire extinguisher. फायर एक्सटिंग्विश के अंदर क्या होता है यूज? बेकिंग सोडा यूज्ड होता है. ओके, again washing soda just I discussed with above. Na2CO3 dot 10 water molecules produces recrystallization of sodium carbonate. What are the uses? Glass, soap and paper industries. To make paper, soap and glasses, this washing soda is using, and uses removing permanent hardness of water. Manufacture बोरेक्स फॉर्म करने के लिए यूज्ड होता है. Plaster of Paris, or we can generally know this POP, right? So POP is this idols or everything is inside accidental therapy. Now, calcium sulfate hemihydrated, created by using heating gypsum to 373 Kelvin. Mechanism, this is the mechanism or just a reaction where you have to generate the gypsum. Hidden ingredients, water of crystallization. So hydrated, this is the COSO.5H2O, where the water molecule 5, when it is heated, then you will get the blue color is restored, that is rehydration when water is evaporate. This water of crystallization, that is the fixed number of water molecules present in the one formula of salt. For example, washing soda के अंदर कितने हैं? 10 है. right? These are 10 water molecules. It's called as crystallization of water. Now, cycle of chemistry, how it is identifications of the applications. Number one is legacy, number two is resolution, number three is identification, number four is interactions. So this is the balance in particular salt, bases and acids, matter in balance, right? You can take the screenshot. And finally, beyond the beaker, the cosmic acid. So the atmosphere of Venus is composed thick clouds of sulfuric acid. Apna Venus, the first, right? Second one, Venus, right? So it composed of this sulfuric acid. The final thought, you have to remember that dedicated pH of these our body is 7 to 7.8, and whenever you are looking forward, then from stink or natal to the rising your cake, the dance of acids and bases everywhere. So whatever the particularly substances or materials or foods we are using, that all are composed of the acids to the salts or bases. Thanks for watching this video.